Welcome to This Week in West Hempstead, sponsored this week by Creative Corner. Here are your hosts, David and Norm. Take it away, gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Dan, and welcome, Norm.
Good to be back with you, David.
So, there's been some break-ins reported on social media, just today, and I was in the Knollwood section of town. Very disturbing,
Yeah, it's supposedly just a smash and grab, but it's disturbing when somebody enters your home.
Yeah, and you know what? Crime is getting a little bit out of hand right now.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, the 5th Precinct has interesting numbers. We've looked at the stats for Nassau County. What does it show?
Yeah, so, Nassau County, numbers are really interesting. So burglaries are up, 40% or 39% year over year, which is pretty horrible. And total crimes are up 38%. So that's really rough. But if you look at the screen and you look at the 5th Precinct, two other things that are coming out. Number one, total crimes are up 28%. But if you look at burglaries are actually down 37% in the 5th Precinct, which is our precinct. So it's a little bit weird. So overall, we're really screwed. I mean, all indicators are up. Car thefts off the charts.
Always has been. We've always had car problems, break-ins, and theft.
Yeah, grand larceny incidents off the charts. So, there are certain crimes, that are lower, but overall, things are really getting out of hand.
Yeah, but we've been lucky to avoid the big stuff. The murders, that kind of stuff has been a problem for Nassau County in general, but not so much in our neighborhood.
And let me say, by the way, for the car break-ins, it's every couple of days somebody on social media is saying something like, somebody got into my car last night. They took my laptop and my wallet. I'm like, don't leave stuff like that in your car and lock your doors. It's not going to prevent everything, but, do your diligence, please.
It's really all about locking the door. I mean, we've had so many people complain, and they leave their doors open.
Yeah.
So.
And if you have a home alarm, think twice about, setting it, because, you may just have it and think, I don't really need it unless I go home, unless I'm going away. But it might be a really good idea to check your, your situation.
Right. Well, the synagogues have been focusing on it.
So speaking of synagogues, so this past Sunday there was a active shooter drill at Chabad on Nassau Boulevard. So Norm, if you take a look at the site, there's an image here that you took. Maybe you can describe for us what happened.
Right. So they brought in some trainers and they masked people up and put on some padding, and they had people play the role of somebody breaking in with a gun, somebody breaking in to do damage. And they trained the general membership to be active, to do a takedown.
Yeah, it's really scary stuff, but unfortunately, it's necessary in our time. So
right. So we did a major story on it on our site. We talked about how initially they were hiring armed guards, and now they've started to train community security people. And the community is really seriously taking the threat to synagogues and religious institutions.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's all over the place. It's all in the headlines. You can't avoid it unless you're living under a rock. And if you go to the site, you'll actually see this video that you took, which is really compelling. And then maybe you can describe exactly what's going on here.
You have somebody walking in with a long rifle. The people in the congregation are, as opposed to just sitting there hiding, are actively getting involved in taking down the shooter. And this is something that's for the general public, but of course there are so many other training avenues that are being pursued by each of the individual synagogues to get people aware and trained for analyzing a threat that's a possibility and then acting on it.
Yeah, it's...
Quick question. Do we know if this is going on for any of the other faiths or any of the other religious houses? I know all of the synagogues in West Hempstead have some variation of security, and, off-duty cops are outside sometimes. Do we know if any of this is going on at the churches or local mosques or anything?
Actually, we don't, but in South Carolina, of course, we know that churches have been attacked. They're not beyond this kind of a threat. But in West Hempstead in particular, it's very interesting that all the synagogues cooperate with each other. They synchronize the security between each other. They take it very seriously. They've all applied for grants from Homeland Security. They've got the latest technological innovations to help secure their facilities. And so it would be interesting to see whether other faiths have taken this seriously as well.
Yeah, and on top of all of that, if there's just a large gathering of people, no matter where it is, whether it's a religious institution, commercial, residential, in today's times, you're just a target. So you got to be aware of your situation and your surroundings at all times.
Yeah, I think it's anti-Semitism is really out of control right now, and that's why this particular neighborhood is taking it so seriously.
Yeah, and moving on to the holiday, it is the middle of December, and it's getting cold outside. We recently did a video tour of Giordano's garden shop and talked to them about Christmas trees. So Norm, you were there. What was that like?
They have an absolutely beautiful display. And, Giordano's been a heart and soul of West Hempstead for a very long time. His father is involved. His grandfather was involved when he was alive. And they've got a beautiful display of 2 or 3 different kinds of trees. Wreaths inside. They have all kinds of decorations and everything in addition to all the garden supplies that they always have as a supplier for the neighborhood.
So it's a 3rd-generation business, and it's a tremendous asset to the community, and it's a great video if you go to westhempsteadecho.com and check it out. And what we also have on the site is we have the holiday lights. It's, there's... every block has got your favorite lights, whether they be Christmas lights or Hanukkah lights. And the folks from Echo went around taking pictures, and you can go to the website and you can see our complete photo galleries. That was really exciting.
Yeah, my family really enjoys it. I took my grandkids around. We took some pictures. If you have a nice display out, is the likelihood that we have captured it on our website. You can take a look at it. There's some really fun displays out there.
And, so your family's like a photographic family. So, you're just telling me that Lainey, your wife, just won an award, or actually she just got a calendar of the month at the Hempstead calendar. I know, I'm getting all of this wrong, so why don't you tell it?
The town of Hempstead every year has a contest for their calendar. They put out a calendar of all the events in town, and she submitted 4 pictures of Jones Beach and other places, parks in the neighborhood, and she won. She won one of the months. So we don't know which one. My wife is now a calendar girl. Happy to say so, and it'll be a lot of fun to see which one they selected.
That is great. And also on our site, there's 2 events that are coming up on Sunday. The first event is taking place in Boom VIP, which is on Hempstead Avenue. It's in the old bank building.
Right.
And they're having a breakfast with Santa that's taking place between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m., and that should be really exciting.
Very nice.
And then there's this annual huge mega Hanukkah spectacular that's being sponsored by Chabad, takes place at Hall's Pond.
Right.
And that's going to be unbelievable.
And what time is that?
That's going to start around 7 o'clock, and then there's going to be this whole procession of fire trucks going through the neighborhood with 3 stops. There's going to be a candy drop, music, latkes galore. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's great every year. Everybody's invited. More than welcome to join us. It'll be a fun time for the kids.
And, of course, keep in mind that the Christmas fire truck trip around the neighborhood will also be taking place later in the month, I would think. We don't have that much left in the month, but they'll be going around. You'll see Santa on the fire truck as well coming up.
Yeah, and if you're new to the neighborhood and you hear all the sirens going off...
Don't panic.
Don't panic. It's going to be fun. Trust us. Don't worry. The dog doesn't know what they're thinking. Have a great week, and we'll pick it up next week. Dan, thank you so much. Norm, we appreciate it. Take care.
Take care.
Thanks for watching, everybody. As always, if you'd like to sponsor this or our other programs, reach out to us at sales@westhempsteadecho.com.